Senin? Ben deyim çok şükür. Buradan yönetmen abimize sevgiler, selamlar.
Şahin'e yok mu selam?
Yok canım yok.
Şahin'e var mı?
Şahin abi seni seviyorum.
Bizim Şahin lan.
Tamam işte. Şahin abi güzel.
Para atışını filenin orada mı yapacaklar?
Well, it's another busy evening in the CEV Champions League. Galatasaray at home against the very strong Lublin. Rumour has it a virus has hit the camp of the hosts and they might be a few experienced players short this evening, but we'll have to wait and see. What we do know is that Lublin are enjoying a dream start to their Champions League campaign. 2 from 2, sitting at the top of Pool B. Galatasaray, maybe the hosts, here at home this evening, but they will have a very tough task. If they can come through this evening,
Coach,
they
good
will
luck
jump
for the
up
game.
the
You
table.
have 2 wins in the group. What can you say about the game?
Yeah, it's true. We got a good start of the competition with 2 wins, but we know that each game is really difficult. So we expect here in Istanbul a tough game. We know that Galatasaray can play really good. We are prepared.
What will be the key of the game?
That could be block and defense tonight. Galatasaray has really good offense. They have many options with middle outside, and so this is probably their strength. Thank you.
Coach, good luck for the game. It will be a hard game today. How did you prepare? What can you say about the game?
For sure will be hard game. Already right now, Lublin is a top team. Of course, they have the best player in the world, probably Leon inside, but not only him. It's full of great players from every national teams. We can say that it will be hard for us, especially because usually in the last month we missed 2 important players for us. Today we will miss more 2 players because sickness in the last week. The team was catched by one virus, so many of the players was in the hospital. So we try to fight, even with a few players, some young players on the court. Will be hard for sure, but we are ready to fight. You're welcome.
Well, there you have it, straight from the horse's mouth. The legend himself, Andrea Giardini, who last year was the head coach of Olympiacos, where they upset the Shevsky Bengal at home. A similar tie to this one, where they were the underdogs at home, and they certainly delivered. But unsure who's actually missing for the hosts this evening. Lublin, on the other hand, look like they've brought a full squad to them, with them to Istanbul, the likes of Marcin Komenda, Kevin Sazak, both huge parts of the Polish national team, alongside, as Giardini said, the best player in the world, pound for pound, Alfredo Leon. And the Canadian has also made his way, Danon Jimar from Canada, or Kofi as he's known, and he is absolutely massive on the net. A quieter locker room for Galatasaray this evening. As we've heard from Giardini, there might just be a chance for a few youngsters. They certainly have strength in their roster. 2-time Olympic gold medalist Jean Patry as the opposite, Michael Wright, and that's actually the 2 setters. But we'll have to see how their squad shapes up this evening and what their first 6 will look like. A win here will get them back up to 2nd place after a great performance last night from Nak Rosselair, beating Halkbank Ankara away here in Turkey. Not the best start in Pool B for Halkbank Ankara. Got absolutely battered by Lublin on the opening day of the season. That is with the likes of Andy Leal and Svetlana Sokolov, to name a few. There is the captain, Marcin Komenda, Challenge Cup winner. 4th season here in Lublin, and they have been a journey to say the least. And actually, the captain, Galatasaray, formerly of Ziraat, international. Good to see him fit. I'm learning at the same pace as you are this evening to see who is part of this team at the moment for Galatasaray and who they can start and who they, fortunately, as Jardini said, have had some real issues with viruses and players having to go to hospital this week. So you never know, there might be a few players who are still struggling with viruses that are currently in the team. As there is Kofi taking off, Air Kofi. And they're not short of physicality, are they? With Wilfredo Leon, just an absolute legend, a four-time Champions League winner. And that glorious spell at Zenit Kazan before moving to Perugia and then moving back to Lublin, where he calls home now. And a very, very good squad here. Zion's picture a moment ago. Michael Wright, you see him, the USA setter. Of Ohio State, but strong blocker in that position as well. Starting setter for Ohio State, sorry, in what was a very successful period for him. But at the same time, he's battling with that man for a starting spot. Somebody at the other end of his career, 40 years old, actually now. Somebody that's done so much for the Turkish national team, part of the Challenge Cup winning side in 2023. So they have certainly depth in their roster. The fans are in. You can join the conversation wherever you are. Just popped up on the bottom of the screen. But for Lublin, they'll be looking to come here all business this evening, just in front of Project Warsaw in Plus Liga by 1 point after 16 matches. Galatasaray third in the league. 3 losses so far. Zira currently leading the way, and it's been a pretty good week for them, having beaten Trentino at home 3-0. The likes of Namir before now. They're very, very strong. Trentino still trying to find their full rhythm in this competition. But Ziraat lead Pool A, which is good news for them and good news for Turkish volleyball. Italy dominating the Champions League and Poland as of late. Lublin are that side who are looking to get to the very, very top of Europe. And looking past them with this man playing libero. Thales, third season in Poland, was in Chaumont, but he's a big player. Silver in the 2018 World Championships. They lost to Poland. Being our gold medalist in 2021. He really does bring experience. We have the big players around him, the likes of Leon. Groznikov was superb, but Kevin Sasak should be there or thereabouts for a starting place for Poland as well, and Marcin Komenda. Strength all around the court, service pressure in abundance. The home side are going to have to be at it this evening. As we have a look for Lublin, Finn McCarthy, well, that was a very quick graphic. Finn McCarthy, the Canadian middle, looks like he's got the nod again as we have a look at the full squad there. Finn McCarthy, Canadian international. Peno, very exciting prospect on the outside. Kofi, number 1, might start on the bench. He started on the bench the first 2 times, but they have strength through Leon, Jackson Young, and Thales as well. The American right should start as a setter. Exi, and you just have a look at how depleted this team really is. There's no Mosjetsky in the 12, the American at the moment. So as we have a look, they have come very, very light. Stephen Mark will start on the outside, that's for sure. Remy Alonso is a Cuban international who's played in Italy as well and won silverware there. And there's a lot of Turkish experience in Arslan Ekşi, Dojichan Ulu as well. Turkish internationals for a very, very long time. You can just see on the squad list that they are a little bit light this evening, Galatasaray. That will make it even tougher against a Lublin side who have come here for maximum points. The Challenge Cup winners last year, Lublin, 9 remainers from that side that beat Lube in the final, alongside winning the Plus Liga for the very first time in what was a thrilling contest against Zavierci. They were impressive earlier on this week. Aaron Russell shining in their victory against Lumberg. But don't forget, Lublin, a side that were in the Polish second league, winning silverware in 2018, winning the first league in 2020, and then winning Plus Liga, all in 7 seasons. Galatasaray had to wait a long time for glory. The last Turkish league title they won was all the way back in 1988, 1989. I can assure you there's no remainers in this squad from that side this evening. Interesting to see what this slightly depleted Galatasaray side can do here against Lublin. You can be pretty sure, underneath the watchful eye of Stefan Antiga, an absolute legend of the game, playing and in coaching as well, the head coach of the Polish side that won the 2014 World Championships on home soil historically. I just cannot believe that that is already 12 years ago. Very, very fast. Referees for this one. Bogdan Stojka and Sinisha Avuka.
Second referee, Sinisha Avuka from Bosnia and Herzegovina.
Well, in the 3-2 win against Nakrosaler, Wright started as the setter. There were starts for Yuksa, Kuma, Patri. It looks like they've lost 2 of their very big hitters, but on the other side of things, there's a start for Heno. Ilya Heno, the French outside lefty. He's got a bright future in front of him. Young gets the start, Leon as well. Comenda will start as the setter. McCarthy and Sales. Doesn't look like there's any changes out there for Lublin. They've taken Grosnodov in the middle as well. Had a fabulous World Championships, as did the whole of the Bulgarian side. Now, Wright will start at... gets a nod, so 3 regular starters this evening. Gochan Yüksel also has started every game, as has Alonso Romi. And there's a change on the opposite with no Patri this evening due to that virus. So there is a start. For number 77, Koch. opportunity. For this man here. Jan Koch gets us underway with the serve as Lublin away at Galatasaray is off and rolling, commanding as Koch. It'd be great to see how some of these players do step up and lean in to the situation and the pressure. They won't have much to lose, that's for sure. The 2 meter opposite Koch, probably the biggest replacement, and he's going to get straight into it. And he does get straight into it. Formerly of Arkas Sport, 22 years of age. He's got exactly lacking in physicality. Burhan Yüksel. Also 204, and that's one thing that we do see from Turkish sides, is they are not short. First play through the right side as it's Heno that's started on that right side. Jackson Young playing on the outside this evening, so there's no Sazak. I'm just going to see how Heno settles in playing right side. Being a left-hander, it means that he'll be able to take that ball a lot earlier, and it'll be good to see. Also shows the depth again that this side has. Jackson Young, the Canadian. One of 3 Canadians on show this evening, with Kofi on the bench and Finn McCarthy. Kofi was so successful at UCLA and got a lot of media hype and social media hype. He's come off the bench and really provided the physicality that we know he's capable of. Hasn't won the Champions League since 2018. Got pulled in by Perugia and couldn't get the job done in the Champions League for Perugia. He went to Lublin. They've had a fabulous time, and Perugia are now the champions of Europe. Right. Very early on here in the opening set, Galatasaray are obviously struggling. No Sazak this evening for Lublin either, so the 2 big opposites both out. 3 in the block this time for Young. Looks for hands in that slow ball situation. It's the right decision. Unfortunately, can't put the ball away. This time on the right side. Leon looking for one of the more audacious angles, says good set. There's a couple of early errors here from Lublin, and if you would have seen their first game of their Champions League campaign against Holtbach Ankara, completely different start. They came out of the traps absolutely flying. Leon 18 points that evening, Sasak 19 points. There's just a couple of early errors here, and it's a little bit flat, which is unlike watching volleyball in Turkey. But still some noise, some boos and some hisses from the crowd. Hello. Koch is straight in here. He's taking his chance, and he's dominating. Can access that line on the right side. They've given him that slither, saying, okay, if you can hit it, we'll give it to you. No middle this time. Leon on the right side. They're playing a little bit of a funky system here with Leon going a little bit down the right-hand side with Henno as well. And he's some backcourt 10 attack to have, Leon. But Lublin still just one behind at the moment. Service to position one, no middle this time, so one-on-one on the outside, sorted straight down. Comenda with the serve to one, just causing enough disruption here, and it's the lefty tip that's been dealt with so well. Excel might have another chance here. Chases on from Leon, what a touch from Leon. Known for spiking and serving, but he's showing that he can play some defense as well. And all those intentions pay off wonderfully as Lublin take the point. What a touch from Wilfredo Leon. You can say what you like. Contributes in every single way for this side. Only with another serve to one through the middle. Leon can't get his hands on that one. He can work the middle from that serve to one. Stephen Mark. It was at Piacenza and Monza. Won the Challenge Cup with Monza with John Tree. To go for their serves here at Galatasaray this evening, who domestically have only lost 3 games this season. Last one out was against Holtbank in the Champions League. Last one they've lost was early December at home to Sport Toto. It's 2 in the bounce because they played 0 the week before. But so far, without John Petrie, Thomas Jadski with this virus, 4 Olympic medals between them, so they're a huge loss for the home side. They're holding their own. Watch at the moment is looking like he's settling in nicely. Libero beaten the tip, which he'll be a little bit frustrated with, I'm sure. Pass isn't quite there now, 2 up in the block. Lublin's trying to take a bit of control. Leon's getting clever. No touch from Leon. Let's have another look. Koch again the target. Leon strong in the hands, and this time thought he was trying to get out the way of it on the first look, but Michael Wright, and there's having a little bit of a word with Gardini. He was the MVP in his conference playing for Ohio State. Won their conference 2 years in a row. Almost following in the footsteps of Michael Marr to Turkey to play his volleyball. Who's now in the US national team, Olympic medalist himself, now playing in Russia. Was the lead man for Holtbank last season. There's Dini, who's just being as patient as everybody else, the head coach now for the first season for Galatasaray. I remember he was with Yashemsky Bengal, with Zaxa. Never made a Champions League final though. The best he's gone is a 3rd place with Yashemsky Bengal. Oh, hang on. No touch. Gardini's team Yashemski included the likes of Tomasz Fornal, playing with Zirat and Vladimir, who's absolutely causing scenes still in the Plus Liga. The Ukrainian Popivchak now playing alongside him with Zavierchi. So he had everything at his disposal with Yashemski that season, but it was all about Zaksa. It's been a great few years for Zaksa, but now not in the Champions League for the first time in a while. Lublin happily taking their place, and deservedly so. Passes off the net. They're going to have to try and hit their way out of rhythm, and that's going to be the interesting thing without Sasak with them on that right side. When they are out of rhythm, and they don't go to Leon, how's their out of rhythm hitting going to be? That might be another error. No, it squeezes in. The thing you have to love about Mara is his body language, his intention. Real leader. First time looks for Leon. Leon's having to do a lot of work there to get 3 in the block, and then second time of asking. Go through the middle. Big in the middle. Tumo is off to a good start, but he's at 2:03. I think Bogdanka Ubu 2:05. Alonso 2:03. They certainly have the height to really hurt Lublin. Lublin are here to try and do a real professional job. That is a good professional job in the block. Ace. Heno. You can see already he's won best receiver, best outside hitter in youth championships for France at European level. And he's got the all-round game stepping up already. Tales with the free ball, comfortable for Tales, Leon. And that is world class from Lublin, world class from Leon. We've seen good defense from the Polish international, and then we just see him just stay high and heavy off the hands. Leon at 2:01. Spike reach of 3:85. Try and get into that zone if you can, but somebody who's impressing his Koch on that right side. Good on the 10, good on the front court. He's providing a real threat this evening. You can tell that Gardini didn't fancy his team's chances in the pre-match chat, but they're delivering a pretty good level of ball at the moment with the odds against them. Here is Leo. Two-point game. Still comfortable in a game that hasn't really taken off as of yet. Will this be the season that Leon wins Champions League number 5? That's a big question. Certainly one of the greatest of all time, and they're all the same currency in this game. And have a look at this. Heno in the pass this time, overpass. Koch, anybody home? No. The Turkish side caught sleeping. Another one off the net hand as it's just lifted up by Wright. Good hands, but again they score through Koch on the right-hand side. Kofi's in. And off the bench, made a couple of very big blocks for Lublin against Holtbank. 3 points, but 2 of them blocks at the back end of the set. But remember, Lublin came past Ankara, who were in the Final Four last year of the Champions League, to 20, 14 and 13. It was easy money. And this is a nice start for Lublin again. They're just holding their level. Jackson Young, formerly of Friedrichshafen, coached by Adam Svachena, who was the Zaxa coach in between Samalivu and Gianni. Another one led, or in that next-gen program, came through the next-gen program led by Dave Preston now in Canada. Canada well represented this evening, that's for sure, as they are always. The Cuban, Jeremy Alonso, played in France, Piacenza, and in Taranto last season before joining. Sazak is in, and that's a real nice place that you can go to if you are Gardini. Just put in Kevin Sazak on the right-hand side, but can't afford to drop the ball here. Sazak, who was the best opposite in the Polish Cup. MVP, sorry, and best spiker. Best opposite in the VNL, but didn't get as much court time as some Polish fans would have wanted in the World Championships. He's got some fight on his hand. The depth of Polish volleyball, absolutely insane. You know, taken out for the Polish right-sider after what's been a very good start from him. Just up by one here, and again, doesn't feel like the same performance as we saw against the Hogbank at home. Yes, they haven't got a full stadium cheering for them. It's a much bigger challenge away with the away fans. Tales Leon tries to tip off the third blocker, trying to pinch in and help. Sazak still can't put the ball to the floor, but the ball hasn't been in the right spot for him so far. And have a look on the right side. Koch is at it again. He hasn't missed in the Patrie this evening. And he is already the star man. Timeout taken, Lublin. Antigua says
Okay, so that's it now, that's the right timing.
To get the team in, just slow things down a little bit.
Then right now, guys, okay, we are getting too many blockouts. Okay, this is how they score. You almost didn't score out of the block. So let's focus on that. Let's go, my guys.
Tiga, who was with Warsaw yesterday, was head coach of Poland for that wonderful campaign, as we mentioned earlier on, for the World Championships. Canada after that, just for a quick season, but took to women's volleyball for a while with Rezhov. Back with Lublin. And what a job this is for him, really. First season for him in Lublin. A lot of the credit has to go to Massimo Botti for the work that he's done as well, but good timeout. Massimo Botti now taking over from Polish legend Michał Winiarski, in charge of Germany for the international season. Let's have another challenge, shall we? Nah, never. Never. Well, that's a couple of challenges already. McCarthy went to BC Uni. Was in Prague with fellow Canadian Casey Shuton. Both serves, or both teams refusing to negotiate behind the service line. Galatasaray, they would love a break, but there is no break. Just through the pipe this time, Young. And you feel that if you're somebody who runs a game like Commander with the amount of options he has, the backcourt will always find some joy. Running the wider set in the middle to try and take the blocker to the right-hand side towards position 1. Opening up position 5 through the backcourt. Lefty serve again from Henu, who's back off the bench for Sazak. Sazak just coming in to play the front court. Big play at a big time. They're stretched this evening, Galatasaray, but they are pulling together. Through the left seam, Leon, who's targeted so often, especially on the front court where he has to do lion's share of the spiking as well. Tuma. He's had a wonderful game, 203, formerly of Fenerbahce. Tip from Leon this time. There's going to be a chance here to go up by 2, but they're just a little bit out of rhythm in the key times. And that, in the end, could be the difference in those big moments, those small things that add up as a real opportunity for the home side. And that one has gone down. It's going to be one thing on that right side. Playing defense at position 1 might just be tough. Koch. Leon, how many times have we seen him go back in key moments and just put the foot on the accelerator? Free ball, Tales steps in. Lublin go to Leon, and twice on the right side on the 10. He's tried to squeeze the crossbody angle, and he's missed. So you're getting creative this evening with his lineup. For as big as Leon is, he lost a lot of height there with that ball inside, trying to hit the sharper angle. They've been 2 or 3 down for long periods in this opening set, Lublin. And through the pipe they come again. Heno has not put a foot wrong so far. Mender happy to go to him at key times. This is not a game for Lublin where they will want to lose this opening set. It could be real big trouble for them. They need to try and stamp their authority early and then cook from there. Leon goes to the line, and that's more like it. Maybe it's just Commander's rhythm with Leon on that right side. We'll have another good look at it here, but off the free ball, Alonso knows he's going to Leon. They're giving him the line again, as we see so often in high-level volleyball, leaving the line for the right side to allow or ask the setter the question if they can get the ball back across the hitting window of the hitter. Leon says that time yes. 2 errors through the 10 attack, but let's be honest, it doesn't look like a 10 attack when he's at full flow. Well, this set has been pretty entertaining. Gardini didn't give his own team much of a chance, knowing that they're depleted through viruses, knowing that there's no tree, knowing that there's no Jones keeper. Here they are trading at the back end of the opening set. And they're going to have their chances. Grozdanov, formerly of Verona, who are going very well in the the Italian league this year. To the outside, it's fast, it's a good tempo. Miles at it again. This is the man that you want serving at this moment. And that's exactly why you want him serving. Yes, he goes out the back, but my word, it was close to being special. Gets after the seam. We've seen the seam management. Maybe a slight weakness for Lublin. Leon at 6. We saw a wonderful dig in this rotation last time out. He's going to have to go again, but it's off the hands. And this is getting very tight. San with a good pass, right, with good feet round the ball, and just you'll love it when you see the quicker tempo pipe attack, especially when it's dragged behind. You know you're trying to make the middle shift one way, and then the reverse set brings the play back the other. Short serve to 1. This is a massive moment. Great setting. Comenda gets a free net on the right-hand side. The play's well worked from 1, and then flip back, and that whole play was dreamt up with the idea that it would not go back to the right-hand side.
Hey, we watch immediately. Low toss float. Low toss float. Also watching for the short thing. The lower toss from the float will go with the thing, yeah? Let's go, guys. Go! Guys! Whoa!
Set point Lublin. Jackson Young with magical work last time out with the serve. Playing some defense, almost over on 1, but yeah, you probably didn't give Jackson Young the big credit he deserved with the short play. Passing the short ball and then putting the ball away himself. But Comenda did a lot of the work as well there. Seems open. Young does a good job to fill it and step up. And we go to overtime. Out of rhythm. Leon's going to have to find a solution. And for once, Leon cannot find a solution. And the home side have turned the tide here in the opening set. Comenda trying to just get that ball to drop high inside. Looking for hands again, Leon. Not the first time he's missed out on hands this evening. And they'll look for a challenge here, but I'm unsure whether there's a touch. I'm unsure about Lublin at the moment. If they win this first set, they should just tame Galatasaray a little bit. If Galatasaray win this opening set, you feel like the upset is on. Is it going to be a big upset, a bigger upset with the players that they're missing? That's for sure. Let's have another timeout. Teague has got another one in the locker, so he may as well use it in these big moments just to slow things down.
Take that, watch out the tail, let's go. One set up, win that one, guys. Let's go! Let's go! Let's go!
Been a massive effort so far for Galatasaray here. And Leon is targeted again in the pass. Leon finds one through. No. We're still alive here. To the outside. They're going to have their swing for it. They're going to have another swing for the opening set. And what a start. Hang on, the referee has decided to go for a challenge. Koch on that right side has been instrumental so far for Galatasaray. In for Jean Patry. And everything will be settled very fairly. He's just taking it easy. Lean on the net, big fella, and no dramas. Maybe it's because Lublin know this ball is out. You have to say, the young man on the right-hand side, to stay aggressive in those big moments and put a swing down like that. It's in! What a swing as well by the narrowest of margins. It's a fantastic challenge from the officials. And hang on a minute, no more smiles here. Galatasaray cannot wait to get off the court at the moment. The graphics come up, but I don't think we're done here. We may have another challenge for something else here, and it could be a net touch. Interesting moments. But Antigua wasn't happy straight away, almost as if he knew the ball was in, which lets us know that that was potentially not what they were challenging. You might want to put your backpack down. The coaching staff already thinking that they have this one in the bag, but Lublin, on the other hand, are still looking very comfortable. This is why the Champions League is such a special competition. Everyone looking calm on the surface. I can assure you that heart rates are high here. Looks like we're almost ready for a decision. There you go, nothing on the net, and the set is decided fairly and squarely. A wonderful play, a great start for Galatasaray at home to Lublin, 26-24. I didn't see that one coming. I don't know if many people saw that one coming. With a couple of world-class players out through virus, Maldini will be well, if you are 2 of those hitting errors were on the 10 attack. So you maybe even have to give the best player in the world just a little bit of sympathy there. The second set about to get underway, and Lublin, I just feel will wish that they would have won that first one, and things might just be about to get even more difficult for them. Because what you don't want to do against a team from Turkey when they're the underdog is give them confidence. A very good side, young side. The block. In the middle. Makes it 2-0. Things might just be about to get much tougher for Lublin. You can just see it in the body language. It's not quite there at the moment. The physicality, Galatasaray. We know that they have the experience, and Michael Wright is very well thought of as well. But at the moment, the pass is in, and that's just going to give them the chance to flourish. It's a fantastic pass from Hassan. And in these situations, he stays so stable and relaxed in the shoulders, and the stability allows his shoulders to work freely and guide the ball. And whatever Lublin are throwing, or getting thrown at by Galatasaray, they're struggling. More service pressure. The serve has been a key weapon here. Through the middle. We haven't seen much of Grozdanov in the game so far, and that's a great find from Bogdanka, to find him when he's a little bit off the boil, he's out of rhythm, he has to try and work it in from 2.5. Connection from the setter and the middleman. Leon. Another error from Leon. It's not quite working for Lublin at the moment. It is working for that man there. Having a very, very good game. He was with Lundberg. Such a good club for Americans through history coming over, maybe for their first year of the pro contract. You know from this week, Thales in the meantime working, and this time setting the long line ball towards Leon, and he puts it away. But we already saw this week with Lundberg, likes of Cole Young there, and Ethan Champion, who's growing in world volleyball stature all the time. Previously with Lundberg. Last season, the likes of Gage Worsley, Michael Wright, Mike Leeson. Fifth in the Champions League last year, right? And we'll be hoping that Galatasaray can go one further. Well, I'll tell you what. Alonso gives it the gorilla. It's a monster block at a key time on Leon again, who on this right side, it just isn't working. (6-3). Lublin have been quietened. Thales with another perfect pass. Commander goes back to the middle. You feel like using the middle, running the pipe, and then going to Young on the outside is going to be the secret sauce here. But Mendes, an experienced customer, he's going to be hoping that he can serve 3 or 4 in a row from 1-1 again. But there's a man that's fired up. he's not letting Lublin have anything. You don't lose 3 games out of 15 in the Turkish league unless you're a very good side. But you just thought, with the virus in the camp, Gardini saying himself, we've had a lot of players out ill. You thought it would be potentially a lethargic performance. You thought that it would potentially be missing maybe even a couple more, although they're missing the key players that they are. But it's been the opposite. It's been energetic. The service has been very good. They've made blocks offensively. They've passed well. You can't remember them not passing well so far. That's a little bit out of sorts. We've had a couple of those where they've lost their rhythm, and they will get punished. They're going to have to try and keep this level here. Right, just a little bit too tight. That's good setting again from Commander Young. It's just maybe another sign that Lublin not quite there. Errors, getting blocked. Big on the right side from Hanno. Takes the ball so naturally on both sides. Hanno was used off the bench against Hogbank Ankaret. Common really, just to serve, as McCarthy, that same game, started every set. 3 points, and he's 100% attacking-wise when he was given the ball. He put it away, and when he is serving the ball, he's putting pressure on. Patience here for Lublin, just building their way back in this game with a little bit of Canadian action. McCarthy and Ma up against each other. Slightly lower toss than what we see with some spin serves. You just have to be very quick with your feet and your arm. That's a good side out. Ma has progressed this evening. Only 2 points in the opening set, but they've all been impressive. More service pressure from Galatasaray. Leon. You can't keep him quiet for too long. Comes in and almost looks like he's used to playing 6 before having to run to position 1. The middle works fast, and with somebody like Gardini in the corner, you know that you're always going to be set up incredibly well. With all that experience that he's had, I think he was the best blocker in the World League all the way back in 1990, but service pressure again from Galatasaray is strong. There's a net touch, maybe just the small things. If you're going to be really picky, there's a few things, the misplaced pipe or the odd net touch, and it's just surrendering the odd point to Lublin. But overall, they're doing a great job of applying pressure in lots of different situations. Try and get off this rotation quick. Leon. They do get off this rotation very quick. I'll be incredibly pleased. If you could just try and get off, get Leon off of the service line. Get off that rotation. Just be a bit of a sigh of relief. Tales Young and Hanno in the pass. So Leon just hitting on the 10 attack this time around in this rotation. And then defending one, so he'll be back on the 10 attack on this backcourt. Heno will go through the pipe, they go through the middle. It's Heno with the cover. He's had a very good game. Off the hands this time, it's smart. Just turning the wrist, Young, around the ball, changing direction off the outside hand. And once again, the pressure this time from Alonso. He's had a great second set. The coach just beaten with the wrist getting around the ball, changing direction off that outside hand. Great game, this one. Wherever you're watching from, welcome to Istanbul. As a one-on-one, is it 2 in a row for Young? Big moment. Jackson Young wiped off the hands last time. Pinches in, gets out, closes 6 beautifully. Lublin have been patient, have held their level. And just for a short moment, we're in the lead. McCarthy choosing not to jump with the middle and get out to the outside. Right decision. Scotchen has been very strong. Gertrude Herzl. Should be a 3-point. No! And these are the small moments that again could be costly for Galatasaray. Mar with a great serve, puts Young to floor. Tales with the overset. And trying to change some direction. McCarthy does a great job to get over and take the zone. I don't even feel that that was a missed opportunity. The good news for the Turkish outfit is that another missed serve from Lublin, and this is just when you feel that you're having to try and work for your rhythm, having to dig deep and push for their level here. Leon will hunt the pipe here, and another hitting error. Remember, they're just asking if the set was in the right place. Monster block echoes out around the arena here in Istanbul, but we're going to see if there was... I think that was halfway up the net band. I don't think that there are any hands on that ball. More problems for Lublin. And now the pass isn't there. Have a look at Leon. He's not happy. But Heno is hitting his team out of trouble. Always difficult. We see it from Plotnitsky and other lefties on that left side. But those out of rhythm balls are so tough, but he does such a good job of keeping his feet inside the ball and keeping it on his left shoulder. Big block. Oh my word. It's McCarthy again. And that was with the heaviest of contacts. Again, he doesn't commit with the middle. We've seen Wright run that back pipe set. It's a very good read. Watching the player, not really watching so much of the ball in those situations. He'll be making his decision on the setter and then be watching the approach of the spiker and trying to take his zone. Lublin might just lead by 2 here, but if you remember, just half an hour or so ago, we're in a very similar This is when Lublin are in those out of rhythm or out of system plays. Front court receiver Yüksel serves. That almost takes him out of the offense. And he's getting a lot of the ball because he is converting there. Not overloading or overplaying Leon at the moment. And Peno is a man that really is stepping up. McCarthy is enjoying himself out there, and rightfully so. He's had a couple of huge contributions in this set. One of the main reasons why Lublin are starting to take some control. And there, from Antigua, you can see that he's starting to rev up because there's just a little bit of breathing space. This would be a key for them. And Heno, Antigua's almost on the court with Lublin. Because a 2-point lead is one thing, but a 4-point lead is another. Heno again is just proving that he can be trusted on both sides, trusted in the pass. Really is a phenomenal prospect. He's already delivering at the top level, but I feel like he could even go through the gears even more in the future. Mender, some more experienced players out there. Tales, the most experienced, the oldest player in the side, the libero at 36 years of age. Five works money. If we learned one thing from the opening set, it's that Galatasaray will not go away. This man will not go away either. I feel that Turkey have an incredibly bright future in the international level as well, with the height and the athleticism that they have. Already dominant force in the women's side of things, but haven't quite managed to reach the same heights in the men's game. McCarthy goes after the middle. Leon makes no mistake this time. Overpass, free money, help yourself, Wilfredo Leon. And once again, Vinny McCarthy in the thick of everything. It's a good serve. Picking out Tuma. Bit of middle to middle. He's done it again, and it's exactly the same. Hang on a minute. Are we watching a replay? For Lublin, it really doesn't matter. McCarthy's just pulled out. In the serve from McCarthy, that he's picked out the middle and put him under pressure. It'll be interesting to see what they do here and whether McCarthy can back it up after a timeout. He goes for a deeper one, and I think that's a smart move. It's managing the risk of the situation after a timeout and going back to a more powerful serve, and it's another break, and all of a sudden Lublin have just found fifth gear. And a lot of that is down to McCarthy's setting, but Heno as well is just unplayable at the moment. Yüksel pushing in the block, trying to take those angles away, but Heno really is a monster out there at the moment, as is McCarthy, two of the big players of this second set that looks likely to go Lublin's way. Tuma back in the game where he's comfortable, and that's just on that middle attack. He's very, very quick. He opens himself up. That ball is just slightly off the net, so he has to open up that upper body to the setter. Give the setter the target to fire the ball into. Can often be the way when you're chasing the set, when you're chasing the game. You can almost try a little bit too hard and force the issue a little bit too much. Hello again. This guy is on an absolute heater here in set 2. And you can almost say there's no chance of Antigua bringing him off at the moment. Scoring freely, serving well, and Lublin have a chance. They take the first chance. We go back all square here at 1-1. Lublin in full-on control in the second set after opening the door to Galatasaray in the first. Again, they're not really committing too much in the middle. They're worrying about the pipe a lot more, the middle blockers of Lublin. But McCarthy and Heno, two shining lights in that second set performance. 25-17 Lublin. We're tied at 1-1 here at the Berlin Felek. It's an intriguing game, but Lublin had a slow start in set 2, but boy, oh boy, didn't they have a fast finish. Top second set performance from Lublin in the end. The service pressure leading the way in a set where Wilfredo Leon struggled again, that's for sure, but others certainly stepped up. 2 aces, 15 attacks. And that has been one of the main things. The attacking improved, the passing solid. But really, Heno, the youngster from France, 11 points, hitting at 73%. 8 from 11. 26-24, Galatasaray took the opener, but Lublin are rocking after set 2. Rostanov has been pretty quiet at the moment, 2 blocks and 3 points. Says Leon in attack is 7 from 15, no blocks, and in the pass, 36%. So you can join the conversation online. See Leon get a little bit more of the ball. I mean, Comenda's doing a good job of feeding the hitters that are hot. It's a quieter set, really, for Galatasaray. Second set, all about the visitors. I think we've seen Galatasaray with their youngsters out, the young team, more inexperienced team without Petri, Jetsky, but we've shown that they have the level. It's just whether they can hold the level for long periods of time. Galatasaray on the left of your screen, Lublin on the right for set 3. An evening that sees tours both Ljubljana and Slovenia. Vargas host Praha in Pool C. Third versus fourth in Pool C. So a fairly quiet night of Champions League volleyball with a lot of fixtures over the first 2 evenings. Lublin flourishing again early on, the passes into a good zone. Let's see how Leon, you can't keep him quiet for too long, but that man is flying at the moment. McCarthy does a great job because when you're coming around the setter from position 2, which is the right front, getting back to position 5 is the toughest swing, the most rotating parts to it in terms of footwork, connection with the setter, and then see if he can show that position back to 5 and hit back to 1. It's even tougher, but not easy. Certainly got a great relationship with Comenda. Leon targeted again. That's a much better pass, and he needs to get those passing percentages higher. Lublin, 2 comfortable side outs off good passes so far. Middle in the pipe, Jackson Young. It's point number 8 for Young this evening. Scoring almost 2 from 3, or just over 2 from 3, so it's a very good evening statistically for him as well. If Heno goes off the boil, then Lublin might just have a problem. Comenda with the touch, it was really well done from Young, falling backwards, having to really move his feet and back pedal, but he tries to draw one to the line and just misses. Just feels quite quiet out there, doesn't it? The home side will want to get the home fans back on their side and making as much noise as possible. So it's a little bit out of rhythm. Middle's a bit quick, and Thales is there, just camping on the outside of the 3-man block in a good position. Leon, those are the situations that he just makes so easy. No approach on the turn, uses his physicality, speed of the arm, and says, my arm will be quicker than the blocker's hands. Nothing that Wright can really do about that one. It's just a mismatch. He's been brilliant for Lublin since joining. It's a bit of a surprise in world volleyball when he joined Lublin, but there's no surprises when he starts to fire up the furnace and find an ace. Position 5. Some things he does are just unplayable. And have a look at Ma. You sit there and he just has to appreciate the perfection of Wilfredo Leon. 2 in a row. And he says, how do I play that? What do I actually do? He's gone to 5, he goes back to 5. That time he does have a chance, but there's almost 2 players on the floor, and Leon again just keeping the service pressure on. And even when it comes off the top of the net band, usually you see the play and the serve really slow down, but there it just seems to keep traveling. And that was the tactic, or the tactic they've stayed with all evening long, just allowing Chan that line. But this is why we said, could it be ace-3? Could there be a challenge? Antigua's having a little look. Exactly the reason we said that Galatasaray will be wanting to get off Leon's service rotation as quickly as possible, because before you know it, you could be 3 or 4 points down without really doing anything wrong. But they're making some breaks of their own. Alonso gave it the gorilla celebration earlier on. They haven't gone to the pin very much. Kostanov's had a very quiet game so far this evening. Into the angle, Young. Talk about this often enough, the ability to move well off the ball. Get yourself into a good position and then upgrade the play from there, and that's, you can just see him playing in tempo. He comes in on the angle, it's smooth, and then he can turn the ball towards position 5. And oh my days, the short serve to 3 from the middles of Lublin are causing some very big issues. Now it's Alonso. He's on the struggle bus after it was Tuma. Kostanov this time with that ace off of the middles platform, but Leon defending one, and it's firing straight back across the court. Again, you can't really have a go at the middles, Alonso and Tuma, for not passing well. That's not their job. You can only give credit really to Kostanov and McCarthy, who have just picked them out so well. Leon, again in this rotation, playing through the 10 attack, and we've seen him miss a few of those cross bodies so far, but we see him there. He doesn't try and hit that one as hard. He just sort of stays up on it and stays really fast. Again, it's a very different play when Comenda's that side of him as when instead of the ball travelling across him as we've seen previously. Good from Leon though. He's certainly finding his way again in this game. He just keeps a very high hand and fast arm. Chance stopped. Leon coming in and playing as a setter, and it's a great bump set from Leon. Hano goes straight to Wilfredo Leon and says, "Thanks, mate. It's good width." Chen trying to get across, but that cross body wasn't there earlier on. It was certainly there. The spin servers have really found, they had the wind in their sails, but the float servers, the jump floaters for Lublin have really found their rhythm in the last couple of sets as well. Silo on the outside. Carlos just getting away. Leon. Alonso. Team Piacenza. We've had some fantastic players over the last couple of years. Brizard obviously setting our season, and Stasi there leading the way. But with Alonso was Lucarelli and Leao, Yuri Romano. Brizard was still there at the time, Scan further, Robert Lambert Simon. That was the team that took 5th in the Champions League, 5th in the Italian Cup and third in the Italian Super Cup. And read out those names. I can't quite believe that Piacenza didn't quite go on to do a little bit more, but Alonso was also there winning the Italian Cup the season before. Which is the real deal out there this evening. Given a lot of line on the long ball, and got the arm. Leon again passing problems and just been beaten for speed, Leon. Close the gap to just 3 here. Thales comfortable again, really relaxed in that platform. His roots really into the ground. See that with the pressure of the serves, you have to stay into the floor, and everything on the upper body is relaxed. Everything in the lower body pushing down just sets up the play wonderfully for Lublin. They really have found their way. Right, dishes it to the outside. Can plays the cover off of the block, and again they go through the outside, but they can't score. Oh, hang on a moment. Jackson Young, he hasn't done a lot wrong this evening. As just said, he's got a little bit of sweaty fingers, and ball control just went missing. Gökçen Yüksel. Again, there's no middle attack this time, and Heno has sort of been that player that Lublin can really rely on. There's a little bit of a conversation about the contact here, being thrown down, but Commander, I have to agree with him, didn't look bad from where I'm sitting, didn't look like he threw the ball down. It was a tip. I know this time serving wide of the mark, and just got a little bit flatter here, Lublin. The service pressure was so high early on in this set. Right into the lead, but then they've just had some small problems with their game. Missed serves, a couple of sloppy errors. Galatasaray will be hoping that they can just sort of hang in and around there and take their opportunities that come their way. They can't nail the serve either. That time. Leon. A few big serves in a row last time. He's at it again. It's a fantastic pass from Hassan from there. And it's a wonderful first side out. And that's why Mark goes straight up to Hassan and says, do you know what? I know how it feels to have to deal with this rocket. It's an RPG off the shoulder of Leon. And Hassan does a good job. Mar will find the solution offensively, but he knows that was all about Hassan. Thales now off the net. Lublin is starting to play a little bit off the net compared to what we've seen halfway through set 2 in the beginning of set 3. Trying to squeeze a sharp angle there, Mara missing out. So the home side's errors now helping out Lublin just pull away again in the free ball situation. There are opportunities that you just don't want to give back and concede an error there, but the net getting in the way for Mark. High ball inside. Oh, hang on, ball's still pinging about here. And it's gone the wrong side of the antenna. Jackson Young's just taken that volley quite low. Himself into a little bit of trouble there. 3-point game. service error, this time feet of Mark. Another season with Dynamo Moscow. Back in 2019. With Sam Daru. He's pretty much experienced everything in the game, Mar, and that's why we'll be hoping that he can steer them through in these big moments. Still alive, is that dropping in as well? Left it in the end. Solid defense really in that situation from Lublin, but powerful on the outside. Bogdan Yüksel is athletic, but he's 2 meters 4, so he's already high, but he sort of jumps like he's a little bit smaller than he actually is. A strike reach of 340. He's very explosive on that left-hand side. He finds the ball really well with his feet. It's a very quick arm as well. There he is. Former Arkas outside. Somebody that's played at under 21 level, part of the Turkish side. Took a silver at the Balkan under 21 championships. And goes there again. Thales is all over it. Like a rash though. And Heno, and it's those plays in transition that make a real difference. Chen absolutely ripped that one. Have a look at Thales. Gets low enough, gets his shoulders underneath the ball enough and directs it somehow back into play. It's outrageous defense. And Lublin up again by 5. It float serve straight down the line onto Yüksel. Thales again back in the game. Commander off almost a free ball situation, and that one's missed by many a mile. Just thinking their wits about them here. McCarthy again does a real good job of taking that step and protecting 5, and doesn't take the middle as a very tough set for Commander to work him from there. Right was taken. Young loves going off body in that situation and just fires well wide. Koch, who's been quiet since that opening set. He was absolutely outstanding in that first set for Galatasaray. Hassan passes off. There's no middle this time. And that's the man that we saw in the opener. Koch cooking. Again, happy to give him a little bit of line, especially when that ball's off the net. It's very difficult to swing. It does get easier as you get bigger, though, or higher. Heno. We've seen him play cross body to the line. We've seen him now drive his feet into the angle. For an outside hitter, takes that ball consistently, beautifully on the right-hand side, doesn't he? There's just a few of these sloppy errors creeping in here. They're 4 up, but that man still believes that they have a chance in this set. It's very unlike Lublin. But they're in control. I don't think that Antigua will be too worried at the moment. I don't think that he'll be thinking of a timeout unless you can really start firing. Maybe now. Maybe now. Wow. They don't know when they're beaten. Young's getting a lot of the pressure in the pass, and Heno's finally stopped. Tuma with the serve. Once again, he finds the ball so well for big player, a big middle that it's a real good first step on his approach to the ball. They're having another look at this one. Initially it looked out. Oh. Not by much. I think that Maldini will be very pleased with long phases of play here. But Leon is back behind the service line, and Mar does a very good job of just absorbing that one completely. Has to hit the way out of trouble though. Carles is there again. He's made a couple of big plays at 5, and this time maybe it was off the hands. You look at the reaction in the block there from Galatasaray, and it sort of tells you enough. And the good news for Lublin is that they score the point. More good news follows for them because Leon is still behind the service line, and he has caught fire. It's never really a question of if, is it? It's just when he's going to catch a run and start to dominate proceedings, like we've seen so many times before. Leon, timeout's been served, or taken to try and stop the serve of Leon. It's a good timeout. 4 points at this stage of the set is a mini mountain to climb. Michael Wright. Can he come in? It's a good toss. He gets right into the heart of the court with the follow through there, but Leon starting to turn the ball offensively. That's his feelings. He shares his feelings about that play. Didn't quite get the line he would have wanted against Leon. Again, that set was maybe just a little bit wider. Just gave him the chance to get through, and here comes Kofi. Wouldn't be surprised if he can touch the ceiling in this chip. And is that Kofi? First point off the bench. And we're just seeing this. If it is Kofi, more Canadian on Canadian action. It is Kofi with a massive reach. We saw it against Hogbank. He's great at coming in and just closing out the set. And the service has been good again from Lublin, but they're going to have to side out Lublin for one last point to see this over the line, to go 2-1 up. Sets 2 and 3 comfortable enough, and maybe it just was a rocket. After that first set, to lose it. Go, hang on, we're going to have to up our game a little bit because it has been upped. There you have it. It's Jackson Young that seals the deal. Set 3 goes the way of Lublin. Yes, they lost the opening set, but since then they have been dominant. It's the Polish side, the Polish champions, that lead 2-1 now. One more needed for what will be, or what would be, a very good away win against a Galatasaray side without the best opposite Paris Olympic Games, Jean Patry. Ski as well, the American. A weakened side this evening, but in that first set, you would never have thought it. They came out all guns flying. So 2-1, Lublin, last chance now. Hungarian fans in the crowd, they will be very happy with how their national team is shaping up after a successful World Championships. Big player in this side this year at Lublin. But they were challenged more in set 3 than they were in set 2. Carthy Heno in set 2 just blew Galatasaray away. Carthy a little bit quieter in set 3. Heno got quite a lot of the ball, got blocked out a couple of times, but he does take that ball so naturally on the right-hand side. Potentially more comfortable than we see from Leon, but he is improving with that connection. Conversation again online. Please come and join us. You are more than welcome. CL Volley M is the hashtag that you need to use to have your say. Top scorer now getting 38% on 8 from 21 sets. That just a little bit, but we know that he's having a relatively good passing game. 48%, he's having to deal with a lot of brute force from Leon as well. Heno 15 points, Leon 14 points. Now with 12 serves, but Jackson Young has actually had more serves than anyone in his team. And passing has improved throughout this game. Heno passed 8 balls at 75%. So he's the top scorer, he's the best passer. So off to a dream start, Carthy leads us for the time being. Interesting if we do see Kofi for a little bit longer in this set. And that's a freebie that's gone astray. Tuna struggled with a couple of those passes in set 2, which weren't really his fault, but this one, he would have wanted to have put that away. That's his bread and butter. Anything that's an overpass, he really needs to put away. Heno Strong through the right side again. Once again, Hassan just very good in the reception. That's a little bit wide. He has to go chasing that. Watch, but I think we might see him just given a little bit more of the ball here in set 4. Nail. No middle attack this time. Heno, is it the right side? It's the right side of the line for Lublin. So the speed that he takes the ball at. Commander gets it into a good spot on the 10. He can just play it a little bit more inside to the left-hander. It's just a little bit in the speed of the arm and the aggressiveness that just beats the middle block of speed. Hassan off the net this time. There is no middle, hitting his way out of a fiddle this time is mark. Point 10 for the Canadian this evening on the left side. Won the Challenge Cup, but back in 2021. I think about the team that they had. Mark, Petrie, both with Galatasaray, but Ishikawa, Tina Renault, Jan Kozamernik, Leandro Mosca. Creativity from Mark. We've seen him go with the hammer, now we just see him have to mix things up, and it's a very good play. It's a good start from Galatasaray. Just this set, I'm sure they would have bitten hands off if you would have said they could go to 5 tonight with Lublin, with the players that they're missing. And it's funny what happens when you're 2-1 down and you know you've got to put your best foot forward. Mar is on fire at the moment. 3 of the first 5 points from the Canadian. Could do with a couple more. If they can get out 4 or 5 in front early on, they go after the middle. It's a little bit of Euro medicine for McCarthy, who's been doing that all evening long, but Leon is in rhythm on that right side, does find the ball nicely. Wow. Alonso charged up, and that has put a dent in the floor. The Cuban here coming in straight, beats McCarthy. The ball goes down with an absolute thud. Tyler's on the money. Young on the right side for this rotation. Hano on the left, and Lightning not striking twice as Wright goes back to the middle again, and this time Tuma fires out the back. That's a couple of errors from Tuma already in set 4. Young will be back to serve. Tuma, who scored 12 points against Hogback. 3-2 loss. Goes Lublin's way. 10 points, so he's made double figures in both of Galatasaray's games, but Galatasaray know how to go the distance. It's what they've done this season. Slow serve on the front court receiver. Leon straight down. See you later. Galatasaray even off to a good start in this set, but it's just funny how quickly the class of Lublin slightly tight. And Leon will be a tough opponent for Koch on that right side. Carlos, what a great pass that is. We talk about him staying stable, but just makes it look so easy. And that's a fine swing. Koch is getting more ball in this set. We haven't seen him get as much of the ball in 2 and 3 as what we've seen so far in 4 and 1. Just managed to slow that game down from Hanno, and that's a rocket. Gets everything through that one. Hanging in there. They're doing more than hanging in there. Hang on a moment. This might be challenged, and I feel like this challenge might go the way of Galatasaray. You have a look at Comenda. He has a quick look at the side. In. To the naked eye, it looked in. Koch is back running things. And you feel like the hosts are right back in this game. The young opposite in for Jean Petrie this evening is taking the ball by the horns. Antigua's just trying to settle things down slightly. Timeout taken. And the French head coach of Lublin, and rightfully so, just trying to slow down this onslaught from Koch. You know that Lublin have got breaks in them. This is a big big moment in this game.
The other one that we and back. We're here. Okay, now we're trying to get a little bit. Hey, let's go! Yeah, he's setting a lot back. I'm kind of waiting.
Two big serves in a row. That's good timeout from Antigua, but Koch has got the show back on the road. Turkish side. McCarthy. We know that he's had some very good spells from the service line. Goes towards position 5 and back to the outside again. McCarthy's having to play some defense. It's a good defense there. Right in rhythm here. No! McCarthy's serve and defense set the tone for that rally. But it's Hanno that puts the ball away. Just brought back into the play. Young is there. Leon out of rhythm, and that's where Leon is worth his weight in gold. Real big hustle defensively from Lublin. First of all, in the block, the defense was there, and then you always have the outlet of Leon on that left side. It's a colossal swing. After a good service run, but that comes to an end. Good game here. Koch is back in the game a lot more. Leon is really coming into his own as well. Gotcha. Had a good evening this evening. Myers, he's been a threat all evening long. Komenda to the middle. For a world-class middle, he's had a fairly quiet game, Alex Grozdanov. With a good soft block a minute ago, and that's exactly what that play does on the tin. You run it a little bit wider, and you can hit it in between the two blockers. Leon makes it another one. Tied at 11s. The service has been there from both sides here in set 4. The blocking is there. Leon's getting caught in here. He's called a challenge really early. The point's gone the way of Lublin, I think, anyway, and then just a little bit of calms. Brought in Hassan. It's into a good spot, but Leon seems to be doing a very good job of Koch after Koch getting off to that explosive start with a couple of aces, a couple of kills on that right-hand side, and all that early work. Won't be too disappointed, Gardini, here. He'll know that his side are battling and fighting away, although
Don't believe we want to finish every ball. It's not our game because they are more physical and more power than us. We need to play smarter. Don't be afraid. Let's get to go and finish that ball.
trying to give the belief to his team to get out there and finish every ball. Lublin are more physical. They've been more physical. That one play, Grozdanov got the soft block, Young chased it down and Leon put it away. One of the big differences here in set 4 between two. Heno, for me in the first 2 to 3 sets, the MVP, into the net this time from the young Frenchman. Service pressure is exactly what's needed. Tales is going to try and put that ball in for Leon. Leon looks off the hands at the cover, and then Heno just goes off speed, and there's a net touch. And sometimes that is what happens when you play at such a high speed. Put the blocker into a real trouble in terms of moving laterally and getting over. Komenda and Heno love running there at speed, and it's Alonso does drift into the net. You can just see that slap of the hands, that clap, maybe just a sign of his frustration. He is always on the edge, Alonso. Leon, the best player in the world, named before the game from Gardini. And into the net, the service pressure again from Leon. He really set the tone in set 3, and now he's pulling Lublin away in 4. Alfredo Leon. Could Lublin be absolutely unlikely, only unlikely a few years ago, that they would be in such a strong position in European volleyball. But could that be the place that he wins Champions League number 5 after a long wait from Zenit? Leon again, this time on the 10. Don't usually see him much on the right side. He stopped, but in turn, Lublin pushed through the rally. The block again doing a good job. And the errors have gone down, and you just feel that Galatasaray just running out of gas here. Good cover again from Young. A couple of errors crept into Young's game in set 3, but he's been on the money here in set 4. Leon on a hot run of serves. Rocket. Out of system. Ma this time, trying to go into the sharp angle. It's a world-class swing. Stephen Ma. Leon serving. It's certainly been a big difference in set 3 and set 4. Struggled. 3 hitting errors in the opening set. That's a struggle for Leon. But now he's starting to find those swings that he couldn't find in set 1. There's been some good plays from Lublin. Galatasaray have struggled after a hot start in set 4. They really have. Got a little bit inconsistent on their side. Better. Oh, it's still alive. Alonso was almost celebrating. It's come off a Lublin player, and then they've made a block as well. And there's going to be a challenge. But this one's a bit of a wild one. If you have a look at Alonso, he celebrated, turned his back on the net. And to be honest, I would just like another look at this play regardless. Lublin look like they've got the rub of the green. Mars not so happy. Can't wait to see this one again. Rami Alonso is the man that came through the middle. Absolutely cooking. Did it go down? Yes. Clearly down against Grosnodov. But you can see that it was hit so hard that even the best referees in Europe didn't even get a good look at it. I mean, we haven't seen many balls hit harder than that through the middle this evening. Three passes up against Mars' spin serve. Another small step towards the points here in Istanbul. Hassan. It's a really good pass from Hassan. Middler was on from there, but he managed to get that ball right into position 3, which is the central zone, and into a relatively tight zone 2. So all the options were back open. McCarthy went with Mar, but Mar beat him to position 1. Good setting from right. Still a 3-point game. Lublin still need to earn 7, but 2 missed serves in a row. In sets that you're desperate to win with the service pressure, you have to serve tough against Lublin. You have to go after Leon in the pass at times. If they are in system, they are too physical. Young, just going to pace off back to the front court receiver. It's a good side up. Watching the target, as he's been a fair few times again, just trying to serve him inside and just take some angles away from him and make it difficult pass. But, does a good job of passing there. Gochin just cuts that angle off with the hands, and it's in a great spot for the setter. They do go after Leon again, but unfortunately Leon is heating up for Galatasaray. And on the flip side, a little bit unfortunate, the ball off the top of the netband did slow things down. Was very patient in the pass. McCarthy. Fast and wide, too fast. It's just the speed of the play in the middle. Wider play, trying to make that seam open between the two blockers again, and you just end up trying to get the blocker reaching if they do make the read, and then it's a bit of a race against time. So good on the right-hand side this evening, Heno. And you would be somewhat fooled to think that's not his most natural position with the way that he just glides in. Have a look off the ball, comes in on an angle, good step close, winds up on the arm, stays high. 4-point game. And an ace. Heno again. And if he doesn't get MVP this evening, I will be one of the people asking why. After set 3, top point scorer, best passer, although not in the pass for large portions of this evening, but he has been excellent, the young Frenchman, especially when Leon was struggling to get into the game. Now the pressure's off a little bit more. Leon is back in and firing.
Inside over there, okay? You take some risk of the 95. We'll be better, guys. Anyway, right now, every rotation we go full power with the service. Full down with the first tempo like that. On the shoes, they stay closer, so we can never play over the shoes or spike the line. Huh? Let's go, guys. Come on, just make sure I understand.
Reverse pipe. Covers there. Galatasaray not giving up, but as we've seen throughout this set, there's just been too many times it's just not been there for them. And you'd say that sets 2, 3, and 4 are almost as you would have thought them to be with Petrie not there. They've been strong, they've battled hard. Galatasaray, you can't not say that, and Gardini will be happy with a lot of aspects of this, but in the end, Lublin needed that little shake after the opening set, but since then it's been very good. The service pressure has been a lot cleaner. The pass has been a lot stronger. Leon has certainly come into the game, and that man has been tremendous. Heno serving for the match and to win 3-1. Someone who's already going to be in Lublin again next year. Comenda goes to the middle. Chance to stay in the game here. Koch puts one away, and there's one saved. Wasn't off again on that wider ball in the middle. Is so dangerous. It's a very good dig to get in the seam and absorb it. But second match point for Lublin. And there you have it, a service error brings this game to the end. And it's Lublin who is still undefeated in their first ever CEV Champions League season. A win away at Galatasaray after wins against Halkbank Ankara and NAC Roeselare. They are 3 from 3 and they are looking very good at flying through this pool phase and into the quarterfinals as a pool winner. Still got another 3 games to go, but that impressive performance against Halkbank Ankara at the beginning of this phase was superb. They've backed it up with wins away 3-2 at NAC Roeselare and a win away this evening 3-1. They'll take all the points, and the Polish fans who have decided to take a couple of days in Istanbul will be delighted with their decision as well. Some good performances for Lublin, but the main thing for Antigua is that they're not dropping points away from home. Very good performance after a bit of a slow start for Lublin. It was pretty comfortable and the scores reflect that. 17, 19 and 18. Galatasaray without a couple of their very big hitters. John Petrie, the double Olympic gold medalist, and it's Leon that gets the MVP award. Heno, another one that performed incredibly well. Leon certainly did make the difference from the service line though in sets 3 and 4. A couple of very good runs, and it's another trophy to put in the cabinet. I wonder how many of those he has. It must be a very big cabinet for Wilfredo Leon. Will it be number 5 this year for him? 33 years of age now, and Leon is doing big things at Lublin, and Lublin are doing big things in the Champions League. Last handshake for the two sides, and it's Lublin, the big news here, that win away. But some good performances, and the future is bright for Galatasaray as they go back to league action in the Turkish league in 3rd position. Their next game against NAC Roeselare in the CEV Champions League in just a couple of weeks' time. And for Lublin, top of the pool in the Champions League, top of the Plus Liga. Some big games on the horizon for them as well. Yashemsky Vengel at the weekend, at Roeselare next week in the Champions League. And games against Rezhov after that, so 3 big games in a row. Certainly doesn't get easier for them, and there's never an easy week in the Champions League or the Plus Liga. But they've come here and they've got exactly what they've wanted. And that's a 3-1 victory away. Heno, Leon and Young, all outside hitters sharing rotations in the opposite. We saw Sazak for a very short period of time, but they were comfortable without the Polish right-sider. Very comfortable, really, for sets 2, 3 and 4. We feel though there's still more to come from this Lublin side, as I think we're waiting to hear from Wilfredo Leon. 21 points this evening, one more than Heno. Appreciation from the fans as well. Heno scoring 70% of his attacks. Leon in the end scoring at 63. He also upped his passing percentage throughout the game. Tales was actually served more than anyone this evening. It's rare that you see that from the Brazilian libero. Picture, I think, of real appreciation from Lublin with their fans, and What a journey they're on, a very sort of medieval-esque town. They've come through the lower divisions. In 2018-19, they were in the second division. 2 promotions, quick succession. Leon arrives at Lublin and the club stock just goes through the roof. Last year, winning the Plus Liga for the very first time. Now in the Champions League, undefeated, with just world-class players all around. Kofi off the bench this evening, the young Canadian. Finn McCarthy there, number 33. He was at his very best in set 2, that's for sure. Good runner serves, great middle work as well. 8 points this evening for him, 6 attacks and 1 block. So still just awaiting an interview, if we're lucky enough to get one. Some great young talent for Galatasaray. Gökçen Yüksel, 8 points this evening. Thought he was a few more than that. Mar 14 and Koch on the right side, 52% attacking efficiency, 15 points as we have a look at the team stats. 7 aces to 4 Lublin. You have to say that when Leon started to get on the tear, it was very tough to stop him, and I think he's almost ready for us courtside.
Congratulations, your third victory at the Champions League. It was not easy for you today. What can you say about the game?
Thank you very much, first of all. Yes, it wasn't easy today game, but yeah, we will go home with the third victory in the row. We are proud for the work that we are doing. We're having some troubles, but somehow we are solving that. I think we would like to continue going into the victories, and we will continue working back follow.
You made a great attack performance today, and you are the MVP. Are you happy with your performance?
I think I can handle better. I can do much better, but yeah, thank you very much for the MVP. And I hope next time you will be happier watching our game. So, and also individual. Thank you too, and no, thank you for watching.
Always nice to hear from Wilfredo Leon. He said himself he could play better, and in that opening set there were a few errors, but the main thing for him is that he won, Lublin won, and they are 3 from 3 at the top of the pool now, and there's some big breathing space between them and NAC Roeselare. That was a huge win against Halkbank this week for them. Halkbank Ankara made the
Coach, congratulations. Not easy for you today, and your victory third at the Champions League. What can you say about the game?
Yes, no, it was means we didn't have a good start, and from the second set we played very well. So it means a bit weird on both sides. Without first opposite, we are actually without both opposites. But so yeah, we are playing good, even without Kevin Sasak, our first opposite, our second. But we maintain a really good level. So I'm really happy about that. Obviously, on Galatasaray's side, it's easier without Patri, which is able to score a lot. Thank you.
Teşekkürler, geçmiş olsun.